And the special counsel's office is appealing after a Florida judge dismissed the classified documents case against former President Trump. Judge Aileen Cannon ruled the appointment of special counsel Jack Smith violated the Constitution because Smith was never approved by Congress. Now the decision's raising questions about the January 6th case against former President Trump. ABC News senior reporter Katherine Faulders joins me now for more on that. Katherine, you were actually in the courtroom throughout this case, and you say Judge Cannon seemed inclined not to grant this motion to dismiss when it was argued. So what changed?
She did. At the time, I sat through those arguments, and she appeared unconvinced by the former president's arguments here that Jack Smith's appointment was unconstitutional. Clearly, something has changed, and we know with that Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity, Clarence Thomas had a separate writing in that opinion where he essentially stated that he believed that Jack Smith's appointment was unconstitutional. So I would think that Judge Cannon in Florida could be picking up some cues from Justice Thomas there. But this is all pretty shocking. This means that those 40 counts that Trump was facing, arguably the most serious charges that he was facing, are essentially out the window. We know Jack Smith will appeal, but that process takes some time. And of course, if Trump wins the presidency, then all of these federal cases, he will just order the Justice Department to dismiss them.
Now, that motion was made months ago. Arguments happened about a month ago. What do you make of the timing here?
Well, the timing is quite interesting. Of course, this ruling, to throw the case out, came literally on the first day of the RNC here. I don't really know what to make of the timing, other than Judge Cannon is perhaps one of the most unpredictable judges, at least that I've covered. She takes quite some time to rule on motions. This was a motion that the Trump team brought months ago. Then the judge finally scheduled arguments in it. And I should add that arguments in these types of cases aren't typically scheduled. These were fully briefed motions. She didn't even have to have a hearing on it in the first place. She did. And then, of course, this ruling came. So it's impossible to know the judge's thinking on the timing here, but it does seem quite suspect, given, of course, we're here. It was the first day of the RNC, and the most serious charges against the former president were just tossed out the window.
So what happens now? Could this ruling set a precedent for other cases like the January 6th case against Trump or the case against Hunter Biden?
You know, it's hard to say. It could. We know that Jack Smith will appeal this. So ultimately, at the end of the day, there will be arguments most likely in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. Let's see what the circuit court says here. Could it have an effect on the other federal cases? It could. In the Hunter Biden case, for example, that special counsel that was overseeing it was already a government appointee. He was a U.S. attorney. So he wouldn't fall under this argument, if you will. The Trump team was arguing that because Smith was outside of government at the time and he came back in, that this was unconstitutional. He wasn't appointed by Congress. So it will be fascinating to see the effect that this has on the other cases. But again, I think it's too early to tell. We have to just wait and see for the appeals process, Diane.
All right, senior reporter Katherine Faulders, thank you.